The Roman Empire, once the most powerful civilization on Earth, but it didn't fall in a day. It collapsed slowly, quietly, while the world watched. Rome's fall wasn't a single event. It was a death by 1,000 cuts, political corruption, an economy addicted to slave labor, inflation that devalued the currency, and a military that relied on outsiders to defend its borders. In 476 AD, the last Western emperor was gone. But Rome had already lost its soul long before that. The real lesson of Rome is this: they ignored the warning sign. Their system collapsed under inequality. The middle class was wiped out. Citizens lost faith in leadership. Political divisions became permanent. Does that sound familiar to you? We still live in Rome's shadow. Our roads, our laws, even our language built on its bones. But we also carry its flaws: rising inflation, expanding military budgets, cultural division. Civilizations fall not from invaders, but from rot within. Understanding Rome isn't just academic, it's a mirror. It shows us the future if we're not careful. The question is, are we repeating it? First, let's take a quick look at what made Rome great, and what eventually led to its downfall. The Roman Empire, at its height, spanned 3 continents and became the hub of culture, commerce, and military power. But over time, it was plagued by corruption, economic instability, military overreach, and a loss of civic virtue. These factors led to a slow, grinding collapse that still fascinates historians today. One of the most telling signs of Rome's decline was political corruption. Emperors rose and fell at a dizzying pace, often assassinated or replaced through coups. The Senate became a puppet, and power concentrated in the hands of a few. Does this sound familiar? In many modern democracies, political polarization has become extreme. Gridlock in government, erosion of checks and balances, and power struggles reminiscent of the Roman Senate have become everyday headlines. While we're not witnessing literal assassinations, the dysfunction and instability are eerily similar. Rome's economy suffered from rampant inflation and an over-reliance on slave labor. As the empire expanded, it became harder to manage trade and logistics. Eventually, Rome's currency lost its value, and the economy spiraled. Today, modern economies rely on fiat currencies and central banks to keep things moving. But rising inflation, growing debt, and unsustainable spending are real concerns. The 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 pandemic, and the growing debt burdens of many countries echo Rome's struggle to keep its economy afloat. Rome's military was the backbone of its empire, but as Rome expanded, it stretched itself thin. The need to defend distant borders drained resources and left Rome vulnerable. Today, the United States has military bases across the globe, spending more on defense than the next 10 countries combined. While this ensures global reach, it also comes at a cost, both financially and in terms of maintaining a stable home front. Just like Rome, endless wars and far-flung campaigns can weaken even the mightiest empire. In Rome's final centuries, decadence and a loss of civic responsibility spread through society. The Roman citizen soldier who built the empire became a rare sight, replaced by mercenaries with little loyalty to Rome. Today we see a different kind of decadence: consumer culture, social media addiction, and endless distractions. The values of community and civic duty have been replaced by hyper-individualism. Are we, like the Romans, too busy seeking pleasure and convenience to notice our foundation cracking? Rome also faced pressure from outside its borders. Tribes migrating in search of new opportunities, often clashing with Roman authority. The Visigoths and Vandals eventually sacked the city of Rome itself. Modern societies face similar challenges as millions flee conflict and climate change. While migration itself isn't the problem, the lack of effective integration and social tension mirrors the strain Rome experienced. So are we doomed to repeat Rome's fate? Maybe. But history doesn't have to be destiny. People voting, community service, sustainable initiatives. The biggest lesson we can learn from Rome is that empires collapse not because of a single disaster, but because of 1,000 cuts. Political corruption, economic mismanagement, military overreach, loss of social cohesion, these are the true harbingers of decline. But unlike ancient Rome, we have the benefit of hindsight. We know what happened and why. It's up to us to build societies that value civic virtue, economic responsibility, and inclusive communities. The fate of Rome doesn't have to be our FA. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And tell me in the comments if you believe history is beginning to repeat itself.